Welcome back to the channel. Today's a little bit different than we normally do because we usually do wine, but we're gonna make creme brulee because we do more than just wine on this channel, right?
Right.
What's the channel called?
Howtodoneright.
And when we master a recipe like this creme brulee, we're gonna share it with everybody. It looks amazing.
And smells even better.
Yeah.
Like an old-fashioned finest whiskey poured out in our glasses.
Watch till the end and you're gonna see what we're gonna do with this wine. But I can't wait to try this creme brulee. I hope you can see that. We take a lot of what?
Tastes.
Cruises. All right, if you follow us on our other channel, Along for the Journey, which is a travel channel, make sure you're checking that out. You know we take a lot of
Cruises.
And what's one of the favorite things that we like when we get on that cruise ship?
They only serve it one night at dinner, and that's the creme brulee.
And yes, this only requires 4 ingredients. We're going to show you from beginning to end, and then I can't wait to what? Taste this?
Taste it.
And please make sure
You like, subscribe, and click the notification bell.
down below. All right, let's go over the 4 ingredients you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need some sugar. You got to have eggs, some heavy whipped cream, and my vanilla, homemade vanilla that I'll put a link in the description how to make. All right, and for this recipe, we want 6 egg yolks. So you want to separate your eggs and you just want to get the yolks. Save your egg whites for another day. This works much better with an egg separator. So there we go. We got our egg yolks separated. The next thing you want to do is you want to get 1/3 cup of sugar. And you want to put that into the eggs and whisk this together until it turns slightly a different color, like a pale color. And that's all we're doing here is mixing this up. Again, don't be intimidated by making creme brulee. It's one of my favorite desserts. You can see it's a little paler yellow than it was. That's it. Just sit it aside. You want to get your oven set to 325 and preheat the oven. So now what you want to do is measure out 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. This is 1 pint, which should be exactly 2 cups. And then we're going to get this heated up on the stove. Get a medium flame here and get your saucepan and put your heavy whipping cream in the pan. We want to just stir this occasionally, and we want to just get where it's starting to bubble around the edges, and then we'll shut the heat off. So now what we want to do is we want to get a pot of water going here. We want to get this water boiling because that is what we will use to create our water bath for our creme brulee. I'll show you what I mean when we get there. So you can see we're starting to get some of the bubbles around the edge here. That's what we want. We don't want to get this boiling because you don't want to burn it at this stage. So I think we're good. We started to see some bubbles around the edge. Let's shut the heat off. So we took it off the stove here. Now we want to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Again, this is homemade vanilla. This is just going to take it up a notch. There's 1, and we'll just do half here. Okay, so maybe this is the most intimidating part of making creme brulee. You gotta add your cream very slowly. We don't wanna make scrambled eggs out of this. All right, so we're just gonna continue to add this very slowly, whisking this as we go. Because again, you don't wanna cook these eggs. My pan's getting away. I need another person. And there we go. We got our cream mixed in here. No scrambled egg lumps. I think we're going to be good to go on this batch. Let's get this into a better pouring container. Now you just want to fill your ramekins. This batch will make 4 of these. So I'm just gonna put in a little bit in each one. We wanna make them as equal as possible. And if you could smell this, it smells great. I love making this stuff. I love eating it more. You can see these particular ramekins. There's a rim in there, and that's about where this is gonna come to. There we go. We're ready to get these in the oven. All right, here's the pan I got. I just got like an 8x10 pan, I guess it is. And we're just gonna put these in here. And then we're gonna fill this with our boiling water before we put it in the oven. So I got my boiling water over here. Now what we're gonna do is fill this pan up about halfway up our ramekins. And that's just gonna help these get going a little bit. Now, do you see some of these bubbles forming on top of these ramekins? You can actually, if you don't want to see those bubbles when they're done, you can just actually spoon those off. I usually don't pay any attention to it because when you put that sugar on there and you're browning them up, it doesn't matter. We are now ready to get them in our oven. Our temperature is about 325, so let's head over to the stove. All right, the timer went off. It's 325 in this oven. Let's get it open. We want to bake these for about 35 to 45 minutes until the edges are bubbly or the middle is kind of jiggly. 40 minutes is probably ideal. Let's set the timer. All right, it is time to get these out. I've checked these about at the 35-minute level, and they were quite done. So like I said, you want somewhere between 35 and 45 minutes. You can kind of see how they're a little bit jiggly on the top. That's what we want. And do they look great or what? All right, these are pretty hot, but you can see it's almost like spongy. That's what you're looking for. So now what we want is we just want to get these out of this water bath, and we're gonna sit them on this cooling rack. But be careful, they're hot. Man, they look awesome. I can't wait to try these, but what we're gonna do is let them cool on this rack for about 15 minutes till they're cool enough to put in the refrigerator. That's what I like about this recipe. You can make these ahead of time before you crisp the top up, and we're gonna let them in the refrigerator for 4 hours or overnight before we crystallize this and get to tasting them. I can't wait. All right, let's get some wrap on these and get them in the refrigerator. Again, we don't want to let them in there. We want to let them cool for 4 hours or even overnight, like I said. All right, it's been about 5 hours. We've had these in the refrigerator. You just want to use a paper towel to get maybe any moisture that might be on top of these before we get them into the oven. We're ready to get this sugar on. You want to sprinkle on about 1 teaspoon of sugar and level it off just like this. And then we'll get them in the oven. And if you like a little extra crunch, you can add a little bit more than 1 teaspoon. All right, hit the broil on your oven because this is how we're gonna get the crunch without a torch. We got the broiler going, you can see it up top there. And you wanna put these in there and do put these in till they get kind of brownish on the top and crisp. It'll take about 5 minutes. We will want to rotate this pan every few minutes. And you can see the ones in the back are getting a little more done than the other ones. So we'll just rotate this around every so often until they get nice and crisp. And you can see the broiler will work just fine for crisping this up. We have a torch. We never even use it. You just saw us make creme brulee, easy creme brulee. And here's what we're gonna do with this wine. We're gonna pair it with this creme brulee. What kind's that, honey?
This is the mixed berry.
Mixed berry. Any sweet wine will go with this creme brulee, but
This mixed berry, yeah, it's going to be good.
yes, it is. Here it is. It's time for the taste test. We got our mixed berry wine, which smells amazing.
Sorry, I had to take a drink.
But let's crack one of these open. This is the favorite part when you make creme brulee. Listen to this.
There
Hopefully
you
you
go.
can see this. Go ahead, taste that, hon. I just love that sound. Let's get some fruit in this.
Give you a blueberry with it. You got to have some of the wine.
It's a great recipe. You got to try it. Like I said, it's out of the norm to this channel, but we threw wine in here too.
Yeah. If you're serving it for dessert and you serve that mixed berry wine, it's going to go great with it.
Fantastic. Until next time, make sure again you're liking and subscribing, and catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, old-fashioned love. We've had pain and lovers go. We've been around enough to know that what this world really needs is something like you and me.